What's good YouTube? Giants fan 696 back here with a video today, and today's video is going to be a breakdown of the high flying denier badge in NBA 2K25. So high flying denier raises the chances of getting a block when moving at a high speed. So what I did is I took Jokic and edited him to have the badge on bronze, silver, gold, Hall of Fame, and legend based on the attribute thresholds you would need in the builder. So for bronze, he will have 68 block, 50 speed, and 60 vertical. Silver, he'll have 78 block, 60 speed, and 74 vertical. Gold, he'll have 88 block, 66 speed, and 80 vertical. Hall of Fame, he'll have 92 block, 71 speed, and 83 vertical. And Legend, he'll have 99 block, 75 speed, and 85 vertical. So the way we're going to test this, guys, is I'm going to be Jokic. I am going to let AD, in this case, my friend's going to be using AD, run around me, and I am going to try to run at a fast speed and go for the block. And then we're just going to see if he blocks him or not. Obviously, if he blocks him, that'll be a win for Jokic. If we don't get a block, then that'll be a win for AD. Even if he contests him or anything, we're purely just looking for the block. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright guys, and as usual, we are going to kick it off here with Jokic with no high flying denier, just under the bronze threshold you would need in the builder. So right now he has 67 block, 49 speed, and 59 vertical. Again, just looking to see if we're able to block him here when we're running at our fast speed. Again, the easiest way to do that is we're going to let him run by us, and then we're going to try to run and go for the block. So yeah, and as always, we're on Hall of Fame difficulty. High risk, high reward shooting and layup timing, which doesn't really matter for this. We're just looking for blocks. And for Jokic, I also removed all his other badges, so we will purely see the effect of high flying denier for this test. So now let's go see what it looks like. Alright guys, first try here. Just gonna let him run, and then we're going to try to get him. And that's going to be 0 for 1, guys. As you can see, we weren't quick enough to get the block there. And we are going to be standing around the same part as around the top of the key area every time, just to keep the test consistent. But that's going to be 0 for 1. Again, unable to get the block there, so that will now be 0 for 2. Again, without the badge, I don't really expect to, but you never know. Always got to get our baseline. That's going to be 0 for 3. That's going to be 0 for 4. Unable to get a block there, and he got an and 1 just to rub it in a little bit more. But 0 for 4 there. And unable to block him there either. So we finish 0 for 5. Again, expected without the badge. So let's go ahead and give Jokic bronze high flying denier, where he will now have 68 block, 50 speed, and 60 vertical. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like. Alright guys, again, we are now at bronze high flying denier. And the reason we're testing it like this, guys, just to clarify, is because we're letting him run by us so that we have to sprint towards him, because the badge says increases the chance of getting blocked when moving at a high speed. So this way I'm going to be sprinting towards him, again, which will be Jokic moving at a high speed and going for the block. Without the badge, we went 0 for 5, kind of expected. So let's see if we do a little bit better here with bronze. Alright guys, first try here. Unable to get the chase down there, so we start off 0 for 1. Alright, second try here, guys. Again, just too slow to get there that time, so that's going to be 0 for 2. Again, just too slow to get there that time. No block there, so that will be 0 for 3. No block there, so that will be 0 for 4. And not looking good for bronze here so far. But see what our last one here looks like if we could pull out a block. Alright, last one here, guys. And unable to come away with a block there. So we finish 0 for 5 again. So bronze obviously still looked bad, unable to get any blocks there. So I'll now upgrade Jokic to silver high flying denier, where he will now have 78 block, 60 speed, and 74 vertical, and see if we could get some blocks there. Alright guys, 0 for 5 without the badge and with it on bronze. So now we're at silver. Hopefully we could get something going here. Alright guys, first try here. And we do not get a block there, so that will start off 0 for 1. Alright, second try here guys. No block there, so that will now be 0 for 2. Third try here. And no block, plus he gets an and one, just again to rub it in a little bit more. So we will now be 0 for 3. Fourth try here, guys. And just too slow to get there still, so that's going to be 0 for 4. Last one here, guys. And again, unable to quite get the block there. So we finished 0 for 5 on silver. So again, this high flying denier badge right now is looking pretty bad, going 0 for 5 without the badge, bronze, and silver. So I will now kick Jokic up to gold, where he will have 88 block, 66 speed, and 80 vertical. And let's see what that looks like here. Alright guys, so up to this point, bronze and silver both have went 0 for 5. Hopefully we're able to get some blocks here at gold, but up to this point, it's not looking good at all. Alright, first try here, guys. And we do get a block on him first try, so we will be 1 for 1. So first block we've had so far comes right there. So good start here for gold. Second try here, guys. No block there, so that will be 1 for 2. Third try. We get a block on him there, so that will now be 2 for 3. And I can already feel that Jokic feels much faster right now. No block there, so that will be 2 for 4. Last one here, guys. And we're unable to get a block there. So we finished 2 for 5, which obviously isn't great, but at least we finally got blocks before we didn't get any at all. So gold finishes 2 for 5. So I will now kick Jokic up the Hall of Fame, high flying denier, where he will have 92 block, 71 speed, and 83 vertical. Let's see if we could do better there. Alright guys, so up to this point, bronze, silver, and no badge, all 0 for 5. Gold was our first one where we actually got blocks going 2 for 5. So now we're at Hall of Fame. Let's see if we do better here. Hopefully, do better than 2 for 5, because that's what gold did. So let's see what it looks like. Alright guys, first try coming up here. And we're not able to block him there, so that will be 0 for 1. Second try here, guys. And we're unable to get a block there, so that will be 0 for 2. Third try here, guys. Okay, we get a block there, so we will now be 1 for 3. Fourth try here, guys. And we are able to block him there, so he will now be 2 for 4. So we do tie gold. Let's see if we're either going to beat gold or tie with our last attempt here. Last one here, guys. And no block there. So we finished 2 for 5, finishing the same as gold. So obviously not too high on Hall of Fame, since obviously it did the same as gold. So I will now bump Jokic up to legend high flying denier, where he will have 99 block, 75 speed, and 85 vertical, and see if we could finally beat 2 for 5 there. Alright guys, so up to this point, without the badge, bronze and silver, all went 0 for 5 and getting a block. Gold and Hall of Fame both went 2 for 5. So now we're at legend. Let's see if we could do better here. First try here, guys. Unable to get the block there, so we start off 0 for 1. Second try here. We get a block there, so we are now 1 for 2. Third try here, guys. We get a block there, so we will now be 2 for 3. Fourth try. Another block there, so we are now 3 for 4. So beating how we did on the rest of our tiers. So let's see what our last one here looks like, if we're going to finish 3 for 5 or 4 for 5. Last one here, guys. And we are able to block him, so we do finish 4 for 5. So let's go ahead and recap our test now. Okay guys, so without High Flying Denier, we went 0 for 5. Bronze went 0 for 5. Silver went 0 for 5. Gold went 2 for 5. Hall of Fame also went 2 for 5. And then Legend went 4 for 5. So right off the bat, some you could eliminate is no badge because 0 for 5. Bronze and Silver both went 0 for 5, so wouldn't use those either. Now Hall of Fame did the same as Gold, going 2 for 5. So right off the bat, would eliminate that one. So then it really comes down to Gold and Legend. Now, again, this badge is used for basically running blocks, right? So just to give you guys the badge description again, just to kind of put into perspective, raise the chance of getting a block when moving at a high speed. Now, what you have to ask yourself is how often you are going to be doing this. If you're someone who's always going to be running down the court going for blocks, to do that at the best rate is going to be Legend, right? Because I went 4 for 5, but the attribute commitment is high. You would need 99 block, 75 speed, and 85 vertical. So that would be a high commitment, and you do need all 3 of those stats for Legend High Flying Denier, but then you'll be able to block them 80% of the time. Again, you just have to consider how often you're really going to be running around, timing the block like that. Again, everyone's game's different. So yeah, that's just something you have to evaluate for yourself. And Gold was 2 for 5, so that's 40% of the time. So say you do it less often, or you just don't want to commit to as high of an attribute point, you would need 88 block, 66 speed, and 80 vertical, which is a decent amount lower. So yeah, it's definitely between Gold and Legend. I would say if you're someone who's definitely like a big rim protector guy, you'd have to go Legend for this badge. If you're someone who just occasionally goes for like a running block like that, Gold, you'll be able to get a 40% of the time, which isn't terrible when you're kind of already in a bad spot. If you're running to get the block in the first place, it's not like you're waiting in the paint for them, which is again the reason why we tested it like this, because you have to be running at a high speed to then go for the block. So yeah, my recommendation is if you're definitely rim protector first, you'd have to go Legend. If it's something you just mix in every so often, then I would say you could get away with Gold. Wouldn't do any of the other tiers though, for sure. So that's my take on things. Appreciate you guys tuning into this video. Since we are now done with all 40 badges in the game, let me know down below any other type of tests or any other type of content you guys would like to see in general. Still, check me out on Twitch. I've been streaming a lot of my team and Proving Grounds content on there, and I'm out.